Namo Buddhaya. Namo Ayana. Namo Vasayana. Namo Yesavasahunam. Eso Panjanamukaro. Savapavapanasano. Mangalanam Chasavesi. Padamam Kavai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchidanand. Namo Vigrada. Namo Harikandana. Namo Siddhana. Namo Aryayana. Namo Vasayana. Namo Yesavasahunam. Eso Panjanamukaro. Savapavapanasano. Mangalanam Chasavasi. Padamam Kavai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchidanand. Namo Vigrada. Namo Harikandana. Namo Siddhana. Namo Aryayana. Namo Vasayana. Namo Yesavasahunam. Eso Panjanamukaro. Savapavapanasano. Mangalanam Chasavesi. Padamam Kavai Mangalam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Satchidanand. Jai Satchidanand. Jai Satchidanand. Jai Satchidanand.
Yes, Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai
Yeah.
Satchidanand.
Yeah, Jai Satchidanand. Thank you very much. It was wonderful. Yes, all right. So now we begin with the sharing a little bit of the last part.
Vamos a compartiendo un poco de la última parte.
Yeah, and in the last part, you know, we were in the 40th session uh,
la número 40
of this Purnatva, which is coming to the fullness of our own newly awakened state, Amapura state. You see?
el libro que habla de ir al estado de full alma pura.
I am pure soul is for sure. Now we have to move to I am absolute pure soul, and it's an inner vertical journey. It's an inner journey. See.
Soy alma pura es la primera parte y ahora vamos a la segunda parte que es el resto del camino que nos queda. Hasta estoy totalmente iluminado.
And that we finished number 40, and now we will go into 41, and this was on page 58 of Gujarati. As in future, a translation will be available, but the real translation actually is happening live for us, word by word, you see. So,
dice que vamos a la 41, que hicimos la 40, de la página 59 de Gujarati, y que en el futuro esto va a estar traducido, pero para nosotros esto sea traducido en vivo, línea por línea.
This is an experiment in a translation, line by line. You know, usually you in the Spanish world get the finished product of English, and then you say, okay, now let us begin with our translation. Whereas here we are going with simultaneous explanation of these words, you see.
Esto es un experimento, estamos traduciendo directamente desde el Gujarati, línea por línea, cuando nosotros, los españoles, los de habla hispana, estamos acostumbrados a traducir desde el inglés, con un producto final.
And after, yeah. So we came up to this last discussion, especially after the Guru Purnima, was when will the pure soul experience happen? You see, when will pure soul experience happen?
Eso, nosotros llegamos acá luego del Guru Purnima, cuando la experiencia del alma pura ha pasado.
Yeah. For some reason, my computer is a little slow, but it's because I've been doing a lot of work with it last night. But anyway, let me see if I can.
Está un poco lento, pero está abriendo todos los documentos. Dice que estuvo trabajando hasta muy tarde anoche.
Yeah, for those of you, many of you have access to the last satsang, right? Damian, you have the access to the last satsang. I don't know. Yeah, good. So you can refer to that. So there is for those who did not, for some reason, attend the last satsang, we'll see the continuity of it all. You see,
A continuar con el último satsang, para aquellos que no tuvieron la oportunidad de estar, que lo miren, porque vamos a continuar desde ahí.
Yeah. So the new heading today is on page 56, and which is because, we were discussing the desire. The new heading today is desire.
El nuevo título de hoy es Deseo.
Desire leads to obstructions, okay? So it's Antaray is obstructions, you see.
Deseo hasta la obstrucción. Desire creates and leads to Antaray. El deseo crea o conduce a la obstrucción.
I was hesitating with reference to whether it ichati Antaray so let us see. We'll get the exact meaning of this heading as we listen to it, as we listen to a question and an answer of Dada.
El exacto entendimiento de este título mientras leemos una pregunta y una respuesta agregada.
So the questioner is asking,
La pregunta es,
you know, and because this satsang is in link, and we have now spent a week away from the last words of Dada. The last words of Dada is whatever comes, whatever pleasant comes in front of you, whatever sweet comes in front of you, if you taste it, then its result, its fruit will not stop or refrain from coming to you. Remember that? Everyone remember that?
la última oración del último satsang, para poner la continuidad que fue hace una semana, decía, cualquier cosa dulce que venga a usted, esto no, whatever sweet thing.
To refrain, it will not stop from coming to you. It will, if you taste the fruit, the result will come. This is the law. This is a natural law.
El resultado vendrá. Eso es una ley natural.
Simple example, you pick up a fruit, you think it's from a garden, it's fresh and it looks very nice. So you bite it and it turns out, to be not sweet or sour, you see.
Por ejemplo, si vos tenés una fruta y la probás y no es dulce, sino que es amarga.
So you've tasted it and the fruit, the result is right there, you see. If you didn't go to taste it, you wouldn't have to worry about the result, right?
Si no la probás, no tenés que preocuparte del resultado, pero si la probás, la encontrás amarga.
Yeah, well, that is the obvious, direct meaning of that sentence, but that sentence is very deep. Dadashri says, anything that you taste, okay?
Esta oración es muy profunda. Dada dice, cualquier cosa que pruebes.
Anything that you have tasted even a little bit, if you have experienced it to be sweet, now anything tasted, if found, I'm writing it down, found to be sweet,
la encuentras dulce,
then its result will not refrain. Refrain means stop from coming, you see.
De venir. Entonces su resultado no parará de venir.
It will come. It will come for sure. So first thing is you have gone to taste it. Then the next thing is you find it sweet and nice, lovely. Wow, you see. And then
primero probás, luego dulce, bárbara.
Dami, perdón, pero no se te escucha muy bien. Es como que hay un eco. Quizás si te sacaras esto se te escucharía mejor. ¿Podemos probar algo?
A ver ahora.
Perfecto.
Right.
Gracias.
Yeah, I was hearing him fine, but it's important that you hear him very well. Yeah, there was a little sound echo. But say something to
Aquí, here I am.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you got, right. Yeah, you got a nice deep voice, so there is really no problem there. All right. Yeah, reflect upon it. I have written it, and our dear Marcela has just translated it. I know it's a little bit of a repetition from last time on page 55, but it is so important. So let us just kind of reflect
Sé que
upon
está
that.
repetido de la página 56, pero es tan importante, así que lo volví a escribir para que Marcela lo traduzca.
Yeah, give me 30 seconds to get my hearing aids. Just a minute.
Okay. ¿No sería mejor que tradujera en el otro canal como hacemos con Shirish? Así voy
A él no le
simultáneo.
gusta. A él no le gusta.
Le podemos preguntar de vuelta.
Claro, pregúntale. Claro.
Pero no sé cómo se pone. ¿Vos sabés ponerlo?
Es que esta sala no tiene eso, me parece.
Ah, okay.
¿O sí? Ceci, ¿estás? Ceci estaba recién. Si lo tiene que habilitar el host. Pero no sé si este costo de sala paga traducción simultánea.
Ay, no le gusta ayuda, traducción simultánea, no le gusta.
No, por eso. Pero
Ya
con
lo habíamos
también no
hablado.
perdemos nada.
Necesito ir a buscar el otro auricular. Ayuda.
Yeah. You have to, you're all young, but when you come to Shuddha's age,
Cuando
or,
llegas a la edad de Yoda, dice.
yeah, you will
Yoda,
find.
do you want me to translate it in another channel so I can go simultaneously with you?
You
and we
can go
talk
Simon.
faster?
No, whatever. No, there's no fast. We are all doing
I
beautiful.
don't like to interrupt you. That's
No, don't interrupt. It is perfectly all right. You're not interrupting.
Okay.
Because every
Okay.
time you're speaking, I'm with Dada in terms of giving you the exactness. So I'm always, so this is fine, my friend. Okay, so
Le pregunté si quería cambiar y me dijo que de vuelta que no.
The simple beauty, the simple beauty of the natural ability to speak, to speak is associated with perfect hearing of your own voice inside. If you can hear your own voice inside in exactness, then it does not require much of an effort. You see, it doesn't require an expert. But like when at certain age, when the sounds fall off, the high frequency sounds fall off, then what happens is that you have to make extra effort to speak loud. So the first sign.
Dice que en el arte de hablar está el escuchar la voz adentro de uno, y que cuando vas creciendo y con los años vas perdiendo esa habilidad de distinguir los tonos, entonces tenés que hacer un esfuerzo adicional.
So, so do not be surprised if the old people speak loudly, because they cannot hear what they are saying themselves. You see, so it's not that they're speaking loudly because they want to hear what they're saying.
Por eso las personas grandes hablan fuerte porque no pueden escuchar lo que dicen.
Yeah, if your grandmother or your mother is speaking in a louder voice, is because she wants to hear her own voice first. You see, that is important, not because she wants to force it onto you, you see. She just wants to hear her own voice, you see.
Cuando las abuelas hablan fuerte, entonces no nos tenemos que enojar porque ellas quieren escuchar su propia voz, no es para retarnos, sino para quieren escuchar su propia voz.
Yeah, so that also is an evidence that this speech mechanism and the sound mechanism is separate from the one inside.
Eso es una prueba de que el mecanismo del sonido está separado de aquel que está adentro.
The one inside who wants to convey, the grandmother wants to convey her love. Another human being wants to convey her love,
Algunos quieren entregar su amor.
Yeah.
Entonces es lo mismo que nuestras abuelas también.
Yeah, and they have come to the age where, but they have come to the age where, physical touching, hugging, etc. is not conveying what they really want to convey, you see.
Entonces hay una edad donde el tacto, el contacto físico no entrega lo que realmente tiene que entregar.
Yeah. So for us it is all become very easy. We convey through our eyes.
Nosotros nos entregamos al crecimiento.
We convey silently through the eyes of the Lord.
Silenciosamente a través de los ojos del Lord.
Amapura, you see? And you can look at each other here, Claudia, Anila, Rosie, Elsa.
Y podemos mirarnos a cada uno.
Yeah, and And just,
y
just
solamente
be,
ser
just be in the conveyance of this natural love, you see. Just be
en la
in the
entrega de este
conveyance
amor
of it.
natural.
Yeah. And that is the meaning of satsang, because Mahatmas, when they gather together, this is fundamental.
Y eso es el significado fundamental del satsang, cuando los Mahatmas se juntan.
And then the words of Dada that come, through various mediums, is the icing on the cake.
Y ahí la palabra de Dada viene a través de varios medios, como el topping de una torta.
Yes. Let us see. So, my friends, we were talking about, the critical sentences. You tasted it, and it was found to be sweet, and it was.
La oración crítica importante es, lo tomaste, lo probaste y lo encontraste dulce.
It was felt to be sweet. Okay, now that's where
esa dulzura
it was felt to be sweet, and
se sintió dulce.
And that was and that is where you have to focus. Who found it sweet? If you say, "Wow, I love it," you are in trouble.
Y ahí es donde tienes que focalizarte. ¿Quién lo encontró dulce? Y si vos decís, yo lo encontré dulce, estás en problemas.
I mean, if you say, "Oh, Rosie found it to be sweet," or Gabi finds it sweet. If you know that Gabi finds it sweet, then you are in awareness, you see. This is very, very important.
Cuando vos decís Rosy o Gaby lo encontró dulce, ahí es cuando estás en conciencia, y esto es lo más importante.
So, in this pleasure experience, you are from the very beginning remaining in awareness, right? You see? Mm-hmm.
En esta experiencia placentera, vos estás desde el principio en conciencia.
Who found it to be sweet? You see?
¿Quién la encontró dulce?
Mm-hmm. In this is the critical sentence, because so if Rosie or Gabi finds it sweet, that is the first critical awareness. You see, Rosie finds it sweet.
Si Rosy o Gaby lo encontraron dulce, esta es la conciencia crítica.
Now, whatever the nature of Rosie, Gabi, Shuddha, that one by nature is going to go in the direction of that which is pleasant and sweet.
Pues la naturaleza de Rosy o de Gaby o de Shuddha va directamente a lo que es, al placer de lo que es dulce.
Yeah, by nature. That is
por naturaleza.
That is the nature of this Pudgal. You usually stay or tend to stick around where it is comfortable, pleasant, see?
Esta es la naturaleza de nuestro Pudgal. Nosotros vamos y nos quedamos en cualquier lugar que sea dulce o placentero.
You like to sit around a person who makes you feel good, you see?
Te gusta sentarte al lado de alguien que te haga sentir bien.
And you move away from that which is painful in any way, you see?
Y huyes de aquel que es doloroso de cualquier forma.
So, now, as the awakened ones, we have to see that, oh, Rosie, Gabi, Shuddha, he's liking this, but you are simultaneously increasing your awareness. So what is the meaning of he's finding it pleasant, but after a while he will say, oh, no, there's nothing to it, you see? So that is the natural way for us.
Ahora vos puedes ver que esto es placentero para Shuddha, Gaby, pero vos lo estás viendo desde la conciencia despierta. Y eso es el fundamental.
It also allows you to understand that which you, that means that which Marcela or Damian had entered with a lot of enthusiasm and interest because they found it pleasant, will have its consequences, correct? Everybody understands that, because you have
Ya
entered.
sabes que si Gaby o cualquiera de nosotros entra en esa cosa que es dulce o placentera, tendrá sus consecuencias.
Yeah. And so the Dadashri says, now the next sentence is, if you find it to be bitter, the same pursuit, whatever you were kind of engaging in, if you find it to be bitter, kadvu lagad show, you see. Mm-hmm.
Y ahora dice, si vos lo encuentras amargo a eso.
If
sorry, go ahead.
If kadvu lagad show, if you it's a very complex word. If you, in other words, how can that which you and I find to be sweet, how can you and I now say it is bitter? You understand what my dilemma is? You and I are finding it sweet, you see, but now the other says you will have to find it bitter, you see.
Entonces, aquello que tú y yo encontramos dulce, Dada dice, ahora lo encontrarás amargo.
So I'm going to translate. If you come to find it bitter, then it will wipe away. It's wipe away. In other words, that which presented in front of you as with a promise of pleasure, temptations, good taste, etc. You see, how can you wipe it off?
¿Cómo podemos encontrarlo amargo? Aquello que encontrábamos dulce. Es lo que vamos.
Yeah, Damian is always going to find it sweet. You see a nice.
Damian siempre lo va a encontrar dulce.
Yeah, or Shuddha, very nice, beautiful, along with the coffee, the bakery shop has got a beautiful piece of pastry with cheese in it, etc. It's there. You don't need it, but you'll say, okay, give it to me, you see. Now,
Si encuentras una torta divina con dulce de leche y bárbara, decís, bueno, dámela a mí, pero.
Yeah. What? So, in what way and in which manner can we really arrive at the experience that Damian or Shuddha himself will say, no. Yeah.
¿De qué forma podemos arribar a la experiencia de que Damian o Shuddha digan no?
Yeah. And that no is associated not with the taste experiences of Damian or Shuddha. They are associated with a taste of this beauty of the knowledge of the self, the knower who is seeing it. Is very subtle.
No está asociado a la experiencia de Damián que lo encuentra dulce o amargo. Está asociado a nuestra experiencia del alma pura, de este conocimiento.
Okay, let me see if I can write it in exactness. No is the knowledge of the taste, okay, of the knower in totality, okay, I might, totality of the experience. You see, in other words, you and I have eaten hundreds of tortes, like cakes and things like that. What is the meaning of it all? In other words, it's what does it do to this body? I'm just, if you want to take this cake.
¿Qué le hace el conocimiento a nuestro cuerpo que no quiere probar, es que no encuentra dulce esa torta?
Yeah, it's just the no arises from a critical awareness and the ability to see the beginning and the end. The beginning was a lot of pleasure, rising, rising, rising. And then that curve, that pleasure curve. So if you look at this line of mine, okay? If the pleasure curve.
Ese no sale del conocimiento, de ver toda la historia. Ese no, vos al estar diciendo que emerja del ser, ves toda la curva de incremento del placer y después de baja.
This is the pleasure curve is not that it rises, wow, and comes back to baseline, you see. The nature of the pleasure curve is like this. It rises,
La naturaleza del placer es así, crece.
And in the process, it goes below the baseline.
En el proceso va abajo de la línea de base.
It goes below baseline in this pleasure before it comes back to normal.
Antes de volver a lo normal.
You see?
Yes.
Yeah, it does. If it comes back to baseline, you're fine. So Claudia, nothing. Absolutely wonderful. Pleasure.
Si volviera a la línea de partida estaría todo perfecto, pero no, baja sobre, estás peor que la línea de partida después.
You see, it rises, it gives you pleasure, but then when it's coming down, it comes down below as pain. It says, whoa, man.
Cuando baja por debajo de la línea de base.
You see, understand this pleasure cycle, pain cycle.
Entendemos este ciclo de placer y dolor.
Yeah. So, Dadashri says, me too, Lagarde show. In other words, this is so powerful a phrase. Me too, Lagarde show. Me too.
Nada dice, me too, Lagarde show.
Lagarde show.
Es una oración muy
Me too, Lagarde show
profunda.
means,
¿Qué significa?
means actually the taster and the taster. And the taster is tasting the food and eating it. You stay away from believing it's lovely and it's so nice.
Es lo que dice, el probador prueba la comida, pero yo estoy afuera de eso.
You too enter into it. This is into it. Do you understand what I'm trying to convey here in these lines of Dada? You see? Yeah, anybody has any? Yeah,
¿Alguien tiene alguna pregunta?
Yes, Marcela.
Marcela.
Cuando lo que era dulce para nosotros se vuelve amargo, obviamente amargo, hay un costo y no nos han hablado del costo, ¿ok? Al menos la Marcela no se ha ido a la dicha absoluta, sino que tiene una tristeza por lo que se está perdiendo, porque ya lo que era dulce ya no lo es, claramente. Entonces, hay alguien que paga el costo de todo esto, que no es el alma pura. Creo que el archivo 1, sí, el archivo 1 empieza a decir...
When sweet goes bitter, there's a cost. And it's evident that the sweet goes bitter, she can understand very well. But in the middle, she says that for 5-1, there's a cost. ¿Qué costo?
Yeah, it is.
¿Qué costo?
Yes, and that is well said. Correct.
Está bien dicho. Correcto.
You see, the file one now wants to be left alone.
El archivo 1 quiere ser dejado solo.
File 1 has already brought its own accounts and it's trying its best, you see,
El archivo 1 trajo sus propias cuentas y trata de hacerlo mejor.
File 1 will get into what it finds pleasant and it will finish those accounts of the subsequent suffering, you see, suffering.
El archivo 1 toma el placer y luego sufre las cuentas de esa amargura, la sufre, sí.
And as long as that remains natural, in other words, you allow it to do allow it to happen. There is no problem. The problem is created by the middle one who wants more pleasure and is forgetting that this is what has created a lot of problems in the past. You see?
Y mientras lo dejes pasar no habrá problema. El problema lo crea aquel del medio que quiere más placer.
Yeah. You see?
El vago.
There is nothing wrong in taking and accepting that which has come to you naturally.
No hay nada malo en tomar y aceptar aquello que vino a vos naturalmente.
You see? And you know, and that is called sahaj. Sahaj.
Y eso se llama sahaj.
You know, barabar. It's a very beautiful line of Kabir that Dadashri has quoted often in his satsangs.
Es una oración de Kabir que Dada la repetía bastante seguido en sus satsangs.
That which comes to you naturally is like milk.
Eso que viene.
Is milk. That which comes to you naturally is milk. You see?
Aquello que viene a ti naturalmente es la leche.
Manglia means second line is Sahaj mila so dudh barabar manglia so pani. So if you asking for it,
Y vos pedís por eso.
going for it, you know, in other words, going for it.
Eso.
Yeah, actively, you know, is like water. That,
es como el agua.
and grabbing it, kheench liya. Kheench liya means grabbing it, taking it away from others, you know, grabbing it, you know, taking it away.
Tratándosela a otros,
mine, you see?
mío.
It's like blood.
Es como sangre.
Like blood. You see? Now, do not just, you know, milk nourishes human beings, you see. Milk nourishes a soul that is growing, you see. Milk comes naturally.
La leche, que es lo que nos alimenta, nos nutre, viene naturalmente.
Milk comes naturally, you see. And milk that comes naturally is for you to take. You see, it's for you to take. There is no problem. There is no problem.
Y la leche que viene naturalmente es para que la tomes, no hay problema.
Milk is that which nourishes. Milk signifies the energy of life. It is not necessarily physical milk we are talking about. It's just energy of life, you know, life-sustaining energy, you see.
Es la energía de la vida.
Milk is ready in the breast of a mother for the newborn, you see. It's
Está lista en el pecho de la madre para el que nace, para el bebé.
A little baby, a little infant that is derived access to the milk of her mother, you see.
Un bebé que recién nace accede a la leche de su madre.
Becomes deprived with something fundamental as it grows, you see. You know, it's always seeking that, you see, it's always searching that, you see.
Se vuelve privado de eso a medida que va creciendo.
Even when he becomes an adult, he really wants to return. Even if he's a young man like Damian,
y cuando es un adulto quiere volver
a su madre. Ultimately, he wants to go to his mother, you see.
Quiere volver a su madre, aunque sea grande como Damián.
This So many ladies who have, who have gone in many years in marriage, they find that they are becoming mothers to their husbands,
Entonces las mujeres que han recorrido muchos años se sienten que se vuelven madres de sus maridos.
Yeah. These are some fundamental views of life. But anyway, coming back to what Dada is saying.
Volviendo a lo que decía Dada.
What Dada is saying, Dada is not talking about this natural, what comes to you naturally. Dada is speaking about, and by nature, this Pudgal, this Mangaldas, this body complex is used to the natural adjustments, If it is used to the natural adjustments, if it is very hungry, it doesn't demand.
Dice que este Pudgal va buscando estos ajustes y que está hambriento.
In our language, it's been named Mangaldas,
Mangaldas.
Yeah.
Sí.
This eating, eliminating complex, this sleeping, eating, drinking complex, By nature, it is natural. By nature, it is natural. If it's very hungry, and you can't find the restaurant that you want to eat it. Say, okay, it doesn't matter. Just get me something from the fast food. Just something to put inside.
Es hambriento por naturaleza. Entonces, cualquier comida dice, dame que la como y no está buscando aquello que es fundamental.
And it is so in every hunger that arises, there is a natural level, natural component, and then there is an unnatural component, which belongs to the middle one. The middle one.
Y en aquel hambre hay un componente natural y un componente que no es natural, otro nivel.
We call
el del medio.
We call it unnatural because, not because he wants to go to a restaurant, he wants to run, not because of that, but because of the insistence that, no, it has to be, I want to eat that food, that.
Lo llamamos no natural, no porque vaya a un restaurante, sino por la insistencia de que yo quiero comer esa comida.
Or, it generates kashays. If he becomes angry, it becomes upset, he becomes irritated while he's driving. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Let's go. The food is good there.
Se enoja y se vuelve irritado porque quiere ir ahí a comer esa comida.
You see, because it becomes unnatural because you are now going for that which is not coming to you naturally.
Es no natural porque vos vas a buscar aquello que no es natural, que no ha venido a ti de forma natural.
Yes, Claudia, you had raised you want to say something? Hola, Claudia. Where are you?
Hola.
Jai Sachidanand, Vishuddhatma Bhagavan.
Jai Sachidanand. Damian, ¿hago la pregunta?
Sí, sujeto y predicado.
Antes dijimos que el probador, dijimos que esa experiencia de lo dulce tenía un costo.
Sí.
Porque después venía una restricción o un bajón que era el costo, que produce probar lo dulce. Pero yo, la pregunta que le quiero hacer ayuda es si en realidad no tiene que ser, o sea, si no es una elección la experiencia del alma pura y no como una restricción o una opción, porque no, si voy ahí a lo dulce, eso después me voy a comer el bajón de... Yo no me importa a mí comerme el bajón. Yo lo que quiero es esto, que es la experiencia del alma pura, porque lo otro ya sería del archivo, ¿o no?
Okay.
Del archivo 1.
She understands not tasting the sweet, not because of the pain afterwards, but because she wants to be in the experience of the pure soul. she finds it's better, and she asking if that is okay. She doesn't care about the pain afterwards. For her, it's not that important as having the experience of the pure soul.
Yeah, interesting way in a viewpoint, and yeah, yes, if you want the experience of the pure soul, and that is your goal, then there is no problem. There is,
Es muy interesante tu punto de vista, Claudia, dice Shuddha, y dice que sí, que si vos querés ir a la experiencia de alma pura y lo ves así, no hay ningún problema.
Yeah.
Es como un paso más.
In other words, that is why Dadashri has given us this magnificent sentence, before you eat anything, before you eat anything in the plate, you say, the eater, and that is the Claudia, is eating, and I, the non-eater, Amapura, is seeing that. I'm seeing that. Ahari ahar kare છે ને હું નિરાહારી માત્ર તેને જાણું છું. And I, the non-eater, is only knowing that. I'm only knowing this. I just know. And in that, if you finish the meal knowing that, then you'll find this thing she found bitter, this thing she found sweet, this thing she found not so good, etc., etc. And you have completed the meal with Claudia finding different tastes, pleasant, and also later on, if she has eaten too much of something that she had liked, she will pay the price for it in her stomach. You see, the stomach signals will come, right? Too much chili pepper.
Let me translate. Eso es por lo que Dada nos da esta magnífica oración de el que tiene que comer, come, y yo, el que no come, solamente conozco. Y al conocer, vos conocés todo lo que es dulce, después va a ser amargo. Al conocer, vos estás poniendo todo ese conocimiento en que va a ser dulce, va a ser amargo, te va a producir esto, va a ser otro. Todo eso está solamente en ese conocer. Entonces, eso es lo que dice. Sorry, Shura.
No, you're fine. As soon as, in these translations, as soon as you get the gist, the gestalt gist, the essence, you don't have to go for word by word. You just, only when there are exact sentences of Dada, you want to get them in exactness. Exact sentences of Dada are the ones that I really write down,
Me dice que cuando tenga la idea de la traducción, que vaya, que me mande nomás y que no busque la palabrita exacta.
Yeah.
Salvo cuando habla Dada.
Yeah, right. In everything, in all activities of a human being, in this world, amidst all activities, crea, of any human being, the most critical one and the most precious one, whether he realizes or not, is comido, the food that comes in front of him or her. Would you
De
not
todas las
agree?
actividades que hace el ser humano, que se llama cría, la actividad más importante es la de comer la comida que te viene enfrente.
It is not, that food that is in front of you requires awareness, you see. It requires awareness.
Comer esa comida que está enfrente de ti requiere conciencia.
That requires your presence. The human being has to be present there. He has to have the right environment. He has struggled all day long, bring different things from the grocery store, get everything right, somebody has prepared it, with a lot of love, all of these things. And then now fresh warm plate comes in front of you, Claudia.
Y también esa comida requiere presencia. Tanta problema hay, bueno, problema no, tanta lucha hay en poner las cosas juntas, ir al almacén, cocinar, y luego toda esa comida viene enfrente de ti.
And that is the place where your satsang begins. That is your internal. Satsang means to enter into awareness of Amapura, Euso Amapura. That is beginning of satsang. That's it. The moment
Y ahí
you
es donde
aware
empieza el
into enter.
satsang.
Yeah.
Ahí es donde empieza tu satsang. El significado de satsang es entrar en la conciencia del alma pura.
Yeah, you are not being with Claudia, you are being with who you are, Euso Amapura. You see? And and there is, you don't need to be here, the eater. Claudia will go for the food, you see, okay, chop this, put the lemon, put the salt, arrange the napkin, get the water or whatever, be ready. And, she...
Y Claudia hace todas las actividades de ir, ponerle agua, ir al almacén, comprar, y vos sos el alma pura que estás en conciencia en ese momento.
You see, so Claudia will continue to do her activities. You need to be in satsang while
Y
you're
Claudia va a
eating.
continuar haciendo sus actividades y vos vas a estar en satsang.
If Claudia is eating alone, doesn't mean she is alone. You can say, all right, now eat this nicely. You can say from inside, eat this one, I'm with you. Then I'm with you, this one. And try and tell me, what are the, she's eating absent-mindedly, she can say, well, what do you think? How was it cooked? Do you know how it was cooked? Or something, just keeping her attention on the food, and you are continuing to know which spices are there, which flavors are there, was it cooked properly or not, etc. Everything you can know, you see, that knowing.
Y eso no significa que estés comiendo sola, sino que simplemente a medida que comes te vas dando cuenta cuánta sal le pusieron, cuáles son sus especias, cómo es la comida, y simplemente Claudia está comiendo.
Yes, and not only that, it is a very beautiful practice to increase your awareness, because you see, you eat 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, supper, and maybe an extra meal with coffee, whatever. But the point really is that is very special time for you. You see, you, Amapura and Claudia, that is your special time. That's your special time.
Y es una muy linda forma de incrementar tu conciencia con 3 comidas al día, donde vos podés incrementar tu conciencia ahí donde la ves a Claudia comiendo. Es un tiempo muy especial, dice Shuddha.
You'll be able to take precious bites, not wolf down your food. Like, wolfing down your food means like eating like a wolf, you see.
Dice que no tenés que comer como un lobo que está comiendo con los tarascones, sino que vas en cada bocado vas sabiendo lo que comes y siendo consciente de todo lo que hay ahí.
Let the milk nourish, let it nourish. Even a little food eaten with awareness is more nourishing than 3 plates of the same food gulped down without awareness.
Puede nutrir, un pequeño bocado puede nutrir mucho más que 3 platos de comida si vos lo comes con conciencia.
You see? The same applies in every avenue of pleasure. Of course, this is a pleasant activity, eating, after a hot day of working. In the morning, you're looking in front of your lunch now at work,
Y lo mismo experimentás en cada avenida de placer que se te presenta. La comida es placentera, vos vas a comer, almorzar, es placentera.
this awareness that is naturally of yours. You're now, what Claudia did not like to eat before, you will find that with awareness, you're beginning to really enjoy your food now.
Dice que con conciencia vos realmente podés disfrutar comida que probablemente antes no te gustaba.
You see, because there is no opinion there, you see. Oh,
Que no hay
I don't
opinión
like
ahí.
this. You see, you
No me
don't.
gusta.
Yeah, in a previous session, we have even said that even the bitter gouts called Karela are found to be,
En
tasty.
el satsang pasado decíamos que aún la carela, que es una hierba amarga, la encontramos
Yeah,
presente.
we have a vegetable in India with spiny, it looks like a squash, but, spines in it, but it's very bitter, but when cooked properly, it is lovely, very nice. It gives the additional taste necessary, food as necessary for your body for detoxification. So there is all of this thing that comes in front of you for your own benefit. And we have really messed it up. We human beings have really killed it through.
Esta carela que está en India es muy amarga y muy dura, cruda, pero si la cocinas apropiadamente, te da toda la desintoxicación necesaria para el cuerpo. Entonces, bueno, la naturaleza te trae esas cosas y el hombre ha arruinado tanto todo eso.
We have killed it through artificial, growth, engineering in the seeds, interfering with the seeds by engineering them to produce more crop, etc. We have also done the same with mass marketing of processed food, which,
Hemos intervenido en la ingeniería de las semillas para producir más y hemos entrado en la industria de las comidas procesadas, toda una cuestión muy mala.
Yeah, we have moved so far away from natural, what is meant to be used in a natural way for human beings. There is enough on this earth of ours for every human being, you see.
En nuestra tierra hay suficiente para cada ser humano.
And you and I just know what they did to these huge grain storage facilities of wheat, that was meant for the world. They have bombed the food that is being manufactured, which is being ready to be shipped to people who do not have that.
Y ahora vemos que han bombardeado graneros donde había comida para la gente y bueno, han destruido toda esa maldad que existe en el mundo. But the world is a puzzle itself. We don't care of that. No?
What?
The world is a puzzle.
The world is a puzzle itself, and there is two viewpoints to solve this puzzle. You see? Two viewpoints. Yeah. You see? We, with a lot of grace and gratitude, we appreciate the plate that comes in front of us. See?
Y dice que con la mayor humildad y gratitud recibimos el plato que viene a nosotros.
You see? This sentence was Karvu Lagad Shotoe Busai. In other words, for Claudia, she says she doesn't care about what follows later. That's Claudia's problem.
Claudia dice que no le importa el dolor que viene después de ese placer. Está bien, es un problema de Claudia.
Yeah, but we will come, we'll take a break and then we come back to in what specific areas you cannot say it is Claudia's problem, okay?
Okay, y vamos a hacer un break y cuando volvamos vamos a ver en qué áreas específicas esto no es el problema de Claudia.
It said, and some of us had raised, like these issues last time, before in the last satsang, so we will we'll continue. There is no hurry. We have arrived at a very critical level where Dadashri is talking about what is preventing us from becoming vitarag, you see.
Ok, dice que no tenemos apuro, vamos a ir desgranando las palabras, pero el satsang se vuelve crítico cuando Dada habla de qué es lo que nos impide llegar al lugar del vitarag.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much, dear
Okay.
Damian. Yes, yes, and
10 minutes or 5?
yeah, whatever you want. I'm fine.
Whatever you want. Okay. 8.
Compromise. 8.
Okay.
All right, 8.
Okay, hacemos un break de 8 minutos.
Okay.
Gracias, Dami. Jai Sachidananda.
Jai
Jai
Sachidananda. Yeah. Okay.
Here we are, Shuddha.
Yes, so understand that it is only with the experience of the awakened vision. In other words, it's the experience of the knower that you will find the total meaning of that which is happening in front of you, and pleasure
Entonces, entender que con la experiencia del ser es con lo que nosotros vamos a entender la total extensión de aquella la experiencia que se nos presenta enfrente de nosotros.
It's very easy. Look at our own life, each one of us. Inside, you will see every experience that we've had of pleasure and pain, and pleasure and pain, and is itself the proof that what we believed to be pleasant and pleasurable ultimately had its consequences, you see, it had its results.
Es muy fácil verlo en nuestra vida, si vemos nuestra vida en el tiempo, esta experiencia de placer y dolor, es muy fácil ver que cada vez que hay placer, después se encuentra un dolor con sus consecuencias.
Yeah, and it was because, and some of it moved away, and you were busy doing new things and entering into new avenues of pleasure, or what you considered to be pleasant. Oh, if I change, these curtains, I will be happy. If I change the lights, I will be happy.
Y es por las nuevas cosas, las nuevas avenidas de placer que vamos entrando. Si cambio las cortinas, seré feliz. Si cambio la luz, o si, no sé, cualquier cosa, es que nos vamos olvidando.
Or if I move away from this man or this woman, I will be happy. You see?
O si me voy de este hombre o de esta mujer, seré feliz.
Yes, and this, recognize that these are. What is the recognition? What is the knowledge? The knowledge says, my dear. The knowledge tells you from inside, my dearest friend. Knowledge, your Amapura, your Lord God inside is telling you, my dear, it's not out there. What you want.
Y el conocimiento que tenemos adentro nos dice, oh, mi querido, no es por ahí, no es ahí.
It's not out there. What you're looking for is not outside. I'm here. I'm the ocean of bliss. I'm the only
Y lo que estás
ocean.
buscando no está afuera, yo estoy aquí, yo soy un océano de dicha.
Yeah. Experiencing and also continuing to remain in the experience of the bliss is being vitarag. It means you are no longer moving in the direction of pleasure, you see. You're not, your activity in that direction is over, you see.
Y esta experiencia es vitrag, es no moverse en la dirección del placer, es estar en el mapa.
Yeah, if something pleasant comes in front of Claudia or Shuddha, just like a beautiful place, scenery, beautiful painting, wonderful human being, appreciate the beauty of that person. And when it moves away from you, you are not dragged by it, you see.
Another phase begins.
Yeah, if, in other words, appreciate the beauty of that which comes in front of us, I mean, you appreciate whether it is a beautiful artwork, a beautiful human being, appreciate the beauty of that person. And when that person moves away, you are not being dragged. You know,
y apreciar un lindo paisaje, un lindo ser humano, una cosa linda, nosotros lo apreciamos y luego cuando se mueven pasamos a otra cosa.
Yeah. You understand, Claudia? Do you understand?
¿Entiendes, Claudia?
Is beginning to understand, right? Yeah. Are you beginning to understand or you understand?
¿Estás empezando a entender o entendiste?
You've muted.
No, estás muteada, estás muteada.
Entendí.
Entendí. She understood, she said.
Good, good. And
Yeah.
it is that understanding is the darshan. This understanding is darshan, you see.
Ese entendimiento es darshan.
Yeah, yeah. And the most fundamental understanding is that this is not happening to me. This is not happening to me. I also am a pura. This is happening to this one with a name, a label, you see.
El
And
entendimiento más importante es que esto no me está pasando a mí, que yo soy alma pura y que
yeah.
uno tiene una etiqueta en su frente, Claudia.
So Dadashri says, so if you taste something very pleasant, if you taste a very pleasant fruit, you will get the result. And for sure, you will get the result for sure. You see, that sentence, which we shared last week, is not just for food. It now moves into interaction with another soul. You see, now.
Y la frase de Dada que nos dice, si vos pruebas la fruta, de seguro tendrás las consecuencias. Y eso no solamente se aplica a la fruta, sino también se aplica a la interacción entre las almas.
Yeah, in other words, now you're putting all your energies into another human being. You see, all your energies are now going into that other person. You see.
Y ahora pones todas tus energías en otro ser humano, en esa otra persona.
And that is going to lead to a bitter fruit. That will, and that is going to give its fruit.
Eso va a dar su resultado.
Yeah.
Su resultado amargo.
Because if you're single, you're not committed to anyone, and if you interact with a Mahatma in this way, it is not as problematic, but it is extremely problematic if that other person is not enlightened, not a Mahatma. You understand? Am I making myself clear?
Si vos interactúas con esa otra persona y es un Mahatma, no hay tanto problema. Pero es extremadamente, extremely what you said, exactly the word?
It'll
not dangerous.
Yeah, it will be difficult.
When you interact with a non-man. Es mucho más difícil si vos interactúas con un no Mahatma.
I am talking about sexual level interaction. I'm not talking about just general interaction, you see.
Estoy hablando de interacción sexual, no interacción general.
In fact, that is the way in which a human being totally kind of gives himself or herself, with one pointed focus into another human being, right?
Es cuando un ser humano se da, ahí es cuando un ser humano se entrega puntualmente a otro ser humano.
It will give its results.
Va a dar sus resultados.
Now those results are not predictable because now the machinery, internal machinery is now entered into the internal machinery of the other person. You understand?
Esos resultados no son predecibles porque esta maquinaria de este archivo, de este ser humano, está interactuando dentro de la maquinaria de otro ser humano.
It begins with mine.
Empieza el mío, mío, mío.
Is that easy to understand or difficult to understand?
¿Es fácil de entender esto o difícil de entender?
Well, if you don't understand, ask Anila, she is.
Si no entienden, pregúntele a Nila, que ella está sintiendo con la cabeza.
You're right, Claudia? If you don't understand, ask Anila, she will explain.
Si no entiendes, pregúntale a Nila, Claudia. Ella te va a explicar.
There are two ways which human beings begin to understand. One is through experience, knowledge, and the other is through beating. Not right, not right, not right, not
Hay
right.
dos formas que el ser humano entiende. Uno es por conocimiento y la otra es por golpes o por dolor.
Yes? Okay, got it. Yeah, she got it. All right. Yes. This is yeah, Gabi. Hola, Gabi, my dear.
Hola, Gaby.
Jai Sachidanand Shiva.
Yes, Sachidan Shuddhatma Bhagavan.
Quiero saber si dada, bueno, Ambalal Patel o Deepak Bhai o Niruma en algún momento lloraron por nuestra ignorancia.
I'd like to know if Ambalal Patel of Deepak Bhai or Niruma have cried for our ignorance. If any time they have cried for our ignorance.
Absolutely. To cry means to have compassion. You see?
Él dice que llorar significa tener compasión.
Compassion. You see, these external tears are relative. The real tears arise out of compassion.
Las lágrimas son mundanas. Las lágrimas reales surgen adentro por la compasión.
Yeah, it is from their compassion and their awareness of the horrible plight of human beings that they continue day and night.
Es por su compasión y por su conciencia del horrible estado del ser humano es que ellos están día y noche haciendo satsang.
They are continuously giving satsang, continuously, where everywhere, not looking for their own body comforts or, they just continue.
No por su confort del cuerpo, sino que ellos siempre continúan. Y eso es la compasión que tienen, que es algo equivalente al llorar mundano.
Jai Sachidanand. And, in the lines of those desires, because you see, behind any tasting, behind any moment to taste something, lies desire. See, there is an underlying ichha. Ichha is the word, ichha.
Al momento de probar algo hay por debajo subyacente un deseo y eso se llama ichha.
Is desire, you see. Ichha is desire. Desire, it's at the subtlest level. There is something that moves one away from the blissful self, you see, towards this temporary pleasures which are not seen as temporary. They are just pleasure. If they are just seen as pleasure, see?
Es un deseo muy sutil que hace que nos movemos desde el ser dichoso hacia aquello que es placentero. Y no lo ve como temporario. El problema es que no lo ve como temporario.
Yeah, and you see, this is where we begin the next heading satsang, and the questioner is asking.
Y esto nos lleva al próximo encabezado, al próximo título, donde el que pregunta.
The questioner says, Dada, what you say is correct. What you say, if what you are saying about this, that we have discussed this whole hour, in detail, if Dada, what you are saying about this let the eater eat, and I should know this. If that is properly set, if that what you're saying is properly set, then all the desires should fall away, should they not? Then there will be
Dada
no.
dice que pregunta, ¿es correcto que si vos, la oración que vos dices, que come, come, y vos observas, es apropiadamente dicha, eso mueve todos los deseos, los saca?
What you have explained sets in, you see, sets in inside me, of course, you're set now, then all
Lo que
the
explicaste, eso se establece en mí. Y
desires
entonces, todos los deseos
will fall away. No, I'm giving you the
caerán.
that's what Dada is saying. If that's what you've just explained to us in 2-4 lines, which we took a whole hour to explain,
Lo que Dada explicó, que en estas 4 líneas que estamos viendo, que a Dada le tomó una hora en explicar en detalle,
then all these desires will fall away, right? Then those desires will not remain, right, Dada? That desire
entonces si eso se establece, los deseos no van a permanecer, ¿no, Dada?
and the desire will not remain, right? Will not remain. No? That's what Dada thinks. She says. So then Dadashri gives a beautiful answer, okay? And I have to now show.
Una respuesta muy hermosa.
And Dadashri says, why? Ichha to shene mate જોઈએ. Why? For what should you have a desire now? Dada is saying, you see?
Dada dice, ¿por qué tienes deseo ahora?
Yeah, for what should you have a desire now?
¿Por qué
Dada
tienes
says.
deseo?
It's a very loaded sentence. Dada says, Gabi, for what should you have a desire now? Because...
Es una oración muy cargada. Si yo te digo, Gabi, ¿qué quieres ahora? ¿Por qué tienes deseo?
Dada says, if desires would bring you something meaningful, then it's very good. If having a desire now, Dada is not talking to the old Gabi before the Gnan Vidhi. Dada is now talking to Gabi now after the Gnan Vidhi.
Si tienes deseos por algo significante, importante, no hay problema. Dada le está hablando a la Gabi luego del Gnan Vidhi.
You see, now by keeping and harboring those desires, by nurturing those desires, oh, I want something. When will it, to kind of continue to nurture or to keep those desires inside, you see. Maybe someday, maybe I will, maybe this, maybe that, by having those desires, if anything meaningful arises, if anything good arises, then it's good. But the Dadashri says, by these desires, through these desires, on the contrary, obstructions are falling on you, you see.
Si los deseos son significantes o importantes o buenos, nutrirlos y decir que algún día se cumplirán, eso está bien. Pero él se refiere a los deseos que son obstrucciones, que llevan a obstrucciones.
Yes, so he says, but on the contrary, every desire, on the contrary, these desires, invite, lead to.
Estos deseos te llevan a
Antaray. Antaray, it's a major karma. You see, Antaray, what?
Antaray, que es un
obstruction karma, obstructions. Your desire It says, and if you desire something,
Si tú
then
deseas algo,
if you desire something, there is an obstruction for that. This is a very
hay una
loaded
obstrucción para
sentence.
eso.
You see, the desire for a thing, okay, is the obstruction. Now, you see,
El deseo por la cosa es la obstrucción.
yeah, the desire for a thing is the obstruction. A very, very adhyatmic, critical, Mahatma level sentence. You know, your car that you drive is fine. Yes, it leaks here and there. It makes noise. It takes trouble starting or sometimes, you see. But it's there for you. But
El
you
deseo de manejar, por ejemplo, trae obstrucciones, a veces trae ruido, pero bueno, está ahí para ti.
it takes you places. It's fine. You don't have to, pay any much money for it, you see, to keep it running. And every time you pass a showroom and you see a lovely car, you say, oh, I want that one, I want that one.
Y cada vez que pasas por una agencia, por un salón, y ves ese auto tan lindo, decís, oh, qué lindo.
Yeah, it is okay to say oh lindo, but you want it. Your desire has arisen. The desire is the obstruction. The
Está
desire.
bien decir que es lindo, admirarlo, pero vos lo querés, y ese quererlo, ese deseo, ahí está la obstrucción.
And whereas here in Akram Vignan, Dada says, everything comes without desires.
Mientras que aquí en el Akram Vignan todo viene sin deseos.
Everything comes without desires. Look at Rosie, so happy, and Gabi happy, Sandra happy, Patricia happy. Everything comes without us having to desire anything. You see? Is that your experience, Luz? Yes.
¿Esa es tu experiencia, Luz?
Yes, she says yes. Everyone.
It's a recent experience, where we are getting together in a place that we have to rent. And we said, how are we going to pay for this? It's expensive, la, la, la. And then we have a surplus in our account. Some people brought money to our account, and now we have for 2 or 3 meetings ahead. So that came. Le explico lo del superávit que tenemos con la cuenta del salón, que estamos preocupados que nos iba a alcanzar la plata y ahora tenemos un superávit enorme en la cuenta de Mercado Pago.
Yeah, you see, there are tremendous energies and tremendous, wonderful merit karma still arising in Mahatmas, including the grace of the celestial beings, you see.
Hay tremendas energías en los Mahatmas y tremendos karmas positivos que salen de adentro de los Mahatmas.
Yeah, because there could be no higher reason for such a space than to let that be the physical location for these energies, So yes, this is wonderful, good, wonderful
Y no hay lugar
experience.
más alto en este mundo que los Mahatmas para esas energías físicas.
Everybody who participates in that lives with something very, very beautiful,
Todos los que participan en esas reuniones se van con algo muy hermoso.
In Africa, this kind of intentions, they build a building on ordinary earth with corrugated, aluminum sheets, 4 posts, aluminum sheets, a door,
En África hicieron edificios con cartones y hojas
Yeah,
Así
some of many remote area churches have been built like this, you see. Just a little place where people go with beautiful feelings, you see.
es un lugar donde la gente va con sentimientos hermosos.
And just identify it with a cross on the
Y que
top.
lo identifican con una cruz arriba.
Desire is an effect, you see. and the view of a human being inside is based on his Gnan, his knowledge in the relative world. If
El
he,
deseo es un efecto y vos estás adentro con tu conocimiento.
the desire is manipulated by kashays, whereas the vow of a human being to share is not associated with kashays, you see.
Los deseos están asociados con los kashays y el vow de compartir no está asociado con los kashays.
Yeah, these are fundamental. We can all appreciate that. We can all appreciate that. And
Todos nosotros podemos apreciar esto.
yeah, so we have to understand desire, recognize Dadashri saying that whatever the desire, that desire itself belongs to the relative one, and in ignorance it is always associated with kashays, anger.
Dada dice que el deseo está relacionado con el relativo y que siempre está asociado con kashays.
You know, my church, my way, Catholico only, no Protestants, you see. And
Iglesia,
on
mi
and on,
forma, solo católicos, sin protestantes.
and on, everywhere in the
Todo
world.
eso,
See, you see,
todos los días.
desire. Yeah. My way. My desire. You see, the one who says my desire doesn't even know who he is, you see.
Aquel que dice mis deseos ni siquiera sabe quién es.
Whereas
No.
you and I now know, we know who we are, you know, we know who we
Mientras
are.
que ahora nosotros sabemos quiénes somos.
And so for the Mahatmas now, the desire is an effect from past life. It is not new, you see, it is not
Para
new.
nosotros los Mahatmas, los deseos son un efecto de la vida pasada, no hay nada, no hay nuevos.
It is not new, whether it is, you know, so, you know, there is nothing to be afraid of a desire that arises. All it requires is the awareness of the self, you see.
No hay nada malo en los deseos que aparecen, lo único que se requieren es la conciencia para verlos.
And that desire, in its awareness, allows you to know whether it is beneficial to you or whether it is potentially hurtful to you, right, Gabi? You know.
Y ese conocimiento nos habilita a saber si es beneficioso o si es potencialmente peligroso o doloroso para vos.
You know, if the doctor has told you that this particular item is not good for you, you see, in food, no matter how much you like it, you know, you will learn from it, would you not? No, every time you eat it, you develop, you know.
El doctor te dice, esta particular alimentación no es bueno para vos. Vos inmediatamente tratás de apartarlo y lo tomas y lo conoces que no es bueno para vos, porque te va a dar picazón o cualquier cosa.
What you learn is, you know, that eating it immediately puts you in, you know, it's not good for the body. So for the body, you learn very fast.
O sea que inmediatamente aprendés que esa sustancia que te dijo el médico no es buena para el cuerpo. Entonces, para el cuerpo aprendemos muy rápido.
But for the liberation, for your ama, it takes a little time. It requires, for ama means for liberation. no further, no further entanglement. No further
Para el alma, para la liberación, toma un poco más de tiempo. Y liberación significa no enredo.
No further entanglement requires your awareness. The body is not going to tell you that. If you, Fabi, or you, Claudia, have gone into a restaurant with very wonderful hairstyle and good clothes, and the men there kind of whistle and they look at you again and again, you better watch out. You know? You better.
Sí. Y para el alma, I forgot, sorry, I distracted with
If you spend spend a day at the spa and then you go to a restaurant, with your best clothes,
Sí.
and
Sí,
the men
si
there,
pasas un día en el spa y vas a un restaurante con tus mejores ropas y viene una persona y te mira más vale que te cuides.
and the
como te
men
hubiera
there
dicho
are
él.
looking at you. Yeah.
Yes. I understand.
You have to be very, very aware. You have to be very aware. What's going on?
Tienes que estar atento a lo que está pasando, de cada cosa que pasa.
Anybody disagree with this particular line of
¿Alguien no está de acuerdo con esto?
sharing? Huh? Everybody
quiere compartir
understands?
algo?
Yeah, this, the awareness tells you whether this is beneficial for you, for your liberation, or whether this is a potential problem for your liberation.
La conciencia te dice si esto es beneficioso para la liberación o si es un problema potencial para la liberación.
Right, Sandra? Hola, Sandra. Correct?
¿Correcto, Sandra?
Oh, yes, she understands, agrees. Yes, we all agree.
¿Quieres decir algo, Sandra? ¿Quieres decir algo? She doesn't want to say anything.
Yeah. Well, when it's coming in, it's for each one. It's highly individualized. These words of
Esto es para
Dada,
cada uno. Entra muy despacito.
these words of Dada are for our own selves. They are not to be, pushed on or to be told to anyone else. You see,
Esto es para nosotros, decía Dada. No es algo para ser empujado para alguna otra persona.
It is between I and file 1. That's all.
Esto es entre yo y el archivo 1. Eso es todo.
Or the other way around, it is for me and my Lord inside.
Entonces, y de otra forma es entre yo y mi Lord adentro.
Yes. So Dadashri says, whatever you desire is the obstruction.
Y Dada dice, cualquier deseo es la obstrucción.
Intellect will say, no, it's not an obstruction. It's available. I'm just going to go for it. You see, intellect is the enemy here.
El intelecto dice, no es una obstrucción, está ahí, disponible, voy a ir por él.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not hurting anyone.
No hay nada malo en eso, no estoy hiriendo a nadie.
That is how it is.
Así es.
And that's so that let it come to you naturally without desire.
Por eso las cosas vienen a ti naturalmente sin deseo.
The Dadashri now says, the one who is not eating ice cream, in other words, doesn't want ice cream, it doesn't like ice cream, and Dada himself did not eat ice cream. So Dada is saying, the one who doesn't eat ice cream, again and again they will come and say, would you like some ice cream? Have you tried this flavor? Have you tried this flavor?
Dada dice que aquel que no le gusta el helado, dice, vengan todos, quieren helado, quieren este otro helado.
Yeah. Take this, a little bit of this, take this flavor, this, you see, and take this one. Whereas the one who is eating ice cream, nobody comes anywhere near him and said, "Oh, try this or try this." You see, this is how the body
está comiendo el helado, no le sale compartir con otros.
Yes, and so yeah. So we have finished this. The desire is the obstruction chapter here. Yes, Claudia.
Claudia, tu pregunta.
Sí. Antes dijimos que los deseos son un efecto de la vida pasada.
Sí.
Y no deben descargarse, porque no sería que forman parte del karma de descarga evidente,
Sí.
por ejemplo.
¿Y la pregunta? Esa, son karma de descarga.
Sí, lo que pasa es que cuando, por ejemplo, yo en este caso que estoy empezando en el conocimiento, ¿no?
Sí.
Yo tengo conciencia, empiezo a tener conciencia, pero es como que tuve que hacer un montón de carga, de descarga de karma de evidente para poder llegar acá.
Sí.
Porque ahora, no podría ahora bancarme una situación como, no podría, sí, el alma pura no sufre. Pero podría ocurrir que estando separado te sigan ocurriendo de esos deseos como de como descarga de karma evidente, pero que ya no te importan nada,
Sí.
aunque te pase.
Sí.
No sé si no la pude formular bien la pregunta. No sé si puede coexistir.
Imagínate yo en inglés. Si uno la puede formular en español.
Perdón, entonces perdón, Damián, no la hagas.
No, le voy a tratar de decir algo. She's concerned about the desires. She said that desires are a discharge from previous life. For her, she's a new Mahatma. It's difficult to understand. She made a lot of effort to get the Gnan, and now it's difficult for her to distinguish desire and the separation, and she's a little frustrated for that. She doesn't know exactly what is asking, but
yeah.
I think she likes to share.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. And you have raised a critical question, because it is, it is arising within you. You see.
Es una pregunta muy buena que hiciste. Es una pregunta crítica, porque el ser despierto está apareciendo en vos.
It is desire. Do you understand? Can you see that the desire? Are you able to see the desire of Claudia?
¿Vos podés ver el deseo de Claudia?
Sí.
Yes.
Yes. That means you are separate from Claudia. You're seeing Claudia. You're able to see what Claudia wants, right?
Eso significa que estás separada de Claudia, que vos podés ver lo que Claudia quiere.
Right?
Sí, o sea, es el aprendizaje, este es como el aprendizaje, la conciencia de la separación.
But you don't say, in other words, the critical area here is, you see, the critical area is this ability to see that this is happening to Claudia, whether it is pleasure or pain. This is happening to Claudia.
Acá es ver lo que le pasa a Claudia, ya sea placer o dolor. Eso es lo crítico.
That is how it is. That is how it is programmed. This in every human being. Every human being, it is programmed, you see. And so, say you like ice cream. Your best friend doesn't touch it. I don't like ice cream. So these bodies are programmed that way. You and your Baba, your friend are programmed that way. One likes ice cream, the other one doesn't touch it. You see?
Eso está programado en cada ser humano. Por ejemplo, a vos te encanta el helado y a tu mejor amiga no le gusta para nada. Esa es la forma en que están programados.
That program is the result of how it was in the last life. You
Ese
see?
programa es el resultado de cómo eras en la última vida.
You see? And then in this life, believing that it is happening to me, I am the one in believing it's happening to me is to create more for next life. You see?
Creer que eso me pasa a mí en esta vida es crear más para la próxima vida.
So it is happening to Claudia. It is happening to Claudia. The desire is not arising in her friend. Say her, her friend is, her name is Fabi. Okay, it's not arising in Fabi, it is arising in Claudia. That means this is how it is for in discharge for both of them. You see, from both you, Claudia.
Y ese deseo aparece en Claudia, no en su amiga Fabi. Y esa es la forma en que se está descargando.
In all of this, the awareness of who this is happening is the liberation, you see?
Y ahí la conciencia de quién le pasa eso, esa es la liberación.
But, so the pleasant things will arise again and the pleasant things will arise and again to jump into and it says, hey, I love it, I want it, is the problem.
Y cuando las cosas placenteras aparecen, las ganas de saltar ahí es donde es el problema.
Yes. If you can see that it is coming naturally to Claudia and she is enjoying it, you see, there is no problem. It is an effect. You are continuing to see that she enjoyed it. And
el problema, cuando vos ves que las cosas vienen a Claudia y ella lo disfruta, no es problema, eso es Claudia está disfrutando, no es ningún problema.
Except for desires about another human being. Except when it comes to another human being.
Otro ser humano.
Everything is okay. You're fine. Just go enjoy. Drive a Ferrari if you want, wear expensive clothes.
Si quieres una Ferrari, ropa cara, lo que quieras, va, anda.
Yeah, go places, whatever, enjoy everything. But the only time that this awareness is very difficult to maintain is when it comes to another beautiful man or another beautiful woman, whatever may be the desire. You understand?
La cosa donde es muy difícil mantener la conciencia es cuando vos tenés un deseo por otro hombre hermoso, otra mujer hermosa. Y ahí es donde se pone en peligro tu
it will be very difficult to move, to remain in awareness, you see, of Ama Pura.
Y ahí será muy difícil estar en alma pura.
Perdón. No, el único deseo es agradecerle a Luz por todo, porque si bien ella fue mi límite, yo puedo como empezar a entender.
My only desire is to thank Luz who brought me here.
Oh, that it's already there.
Ya estás ahí, dice. Ya está.
Our absolute gratitude for the one who brought us to Dada, a human being who brought us to Dada, is forever. For me, it is Shirish Bhai. You see, it's physical, so...
Esa gratitud por la cual nos trajo a Dada es eterna. Para el caso de Shuddha, de Shirish Bhai.
Shirish was a long-term friend of mine. He was for 25 years my friend, but he didn't tell me, only in the last meeting he told me about Dada. So.
Yo fui amigo de Shirish, un amigazo de Shirish por 25 años y nunca me dijo nada. Y un día me dijo, y acá estoy.
Yeah, that is, it's this, the gratitude for, and that, my dear, what you just mentioned will liberate you. Will liberate you. Your And what you just said will liberate you. Whether you understand these finer things is not important. You see?
Y eso que dijiste es lo que te va a liberar. Después hay muchas cosas menores que tenés que entender que no son tan importantes, pero eso es lo que te va a liberar.
You're thanking our dear Luz for what you have received, which cannot be repaid, you see, which there is no value for it, you see.
Vos le agradecés a Luz por lo que has recibido, que no puede ser repagado, porque no hay un valor que compense eso.
No, there is, you and I were sinking in this ocean of this world, life after life. Somebody just kind of held out the hand and pulled us up, you see.
Vos y yo estábamos hundidos en este océano de la vida y viene alguien y nos saca.
Yes, Nick, Claudia. I see. This is
Gracias a todos, porque gracias a Luz también conocí a todos.
Yeah, what she said.
She says, thank you all, because thanks to Luz, I knew all of you.
Oh, yeah, and you see, just be in satsang. You see, this is the fifth agna. You know, when you gather together in that beautiful new place of yours, or even if you don't have a place, you know, you sit under a tree with 2 or 3 of you. Satsang begins.
Y esto es lo más hermoso del satsang, cuando se reúnen ustedes y están juntos en este lugar que alquilaron.
You sit in a quiet corner of a coffee shop and let satsang begin, you see.
Y sin deseo, sino sin deseo, en el rincón de un café y dejen que el satsang empiece.
You don't have anybody and you're sitting in a quiet corner of a coffee shop. Open up FaceTime and let satsang begin with a Mahatma or 2 Mahatmas, you see.
Y si estás solo en un café, hablan FaceTime y llamen a un Mahatma y empiecen el satsang ahí con otro Mahatma.
So, you know, this let satsang begin all over South America and in all the Spanish world, you see.
Dejen que el satsang empiece en toda Sudamérica y en todo el mundo español.
You don't have to wait for satsang. You know, Dadashri's instructions are gather. When Mahatmas gather, satsang begins, you see.
Los Mahatmas hacen que el satsang empiece, no necesitan muchas instrucciones.
You know, if nothing, you can say, you and I have Charan Vidhi, you read first paragraph of Charan Vidhi, I listen, now I read the second paragraph and you listen, you know.
Nos juntamos a leer el Charan Vidhi, uno lee el primer párrafo, yo le escucho, yo leo, vos escuchás,
you know,
y así.
You do not confuse the final instruction of Dada in Agna 5, you see. He says, satsang is how you will nourish this beautiful new small plant that has arisen in the Gnani Vidhi. Protect it.
Las palabras de Dada dicen que el satsang es lo que nutre esta hermosa planta que ha nacido en el Dhamma.
Number 1, when the Gnani is alive, try to be there. That's number 1.
Número 1, mientras el Gnani esté vivo, traten de estar con él.
Present, living Gnani is present in front of you, leave everything else, okay? And try to be there. Number 2.
Si el Gnani está presente, número 1, traten de estar con él. Número 2.
Number 2, the Vani, this magazine, Dada Vani magazine that is coming to you fresh every month, you see? It comes.
La revista del Dada Vani que viene a ustedes fresca cada mes.
Or Dada Vanis that is in the Saptavani magazines and books of Dada. That is number 2.
Son extractos de los Saptavanis, de los libros de Dada. Ese es el número 2.
Now share those, read those. If you can't understand,
compártalos.
This, you know, go there and, you know, and if you, you know, share with your friends. I don't understand this.
Compártalos con sus amigos.
If in your own small group you cannot understand, save it for the Gnani. If you, you know, send it, you know, when the Gnani is live for you, you know, try to understand it. If this is a small understanding that your group of people in your can provide you for in your language, fine. You know, you don't need to But if not, if that,
we can translate automatically for reading
yeah,
among us.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Si no entendemos el Dadavani, traduzcámoslo con alguna.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You see, and then let gather together, and proceed in such a way that there is no kashai. That's the most critical thing. There should not
Y
be
léanlo de una forma tal que no haya kashays. Eso es lo más crítico.
no kashai, because your kashai means you're defeating the purpose why you're coming in satsang.
Y kashay es por lo cual nosotros venimos a satsang, para salir de los kashays.
Yeah. So, my friends, it's our time is up for you, and it's so good to see our special one with Rosie. Hola. Yes, with Rosie.
Ya terminado nuestro satsang. La saluda Rosie.
Yeah, beautiful colors of Spain on him there, red and gold,
lindo
orange.
colores de España.
What is
chiquita?
Rosie? Jai Sachidanand. Yeah, Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand. Rosie, does he sings Dada Bhagwan Asim Jai Jekar ho? Jai Sachidanand.
Él canta Dada Bhagwan Asim Jai Jekar ho.
¿Cómo? Perdón.
Si tu nieto canta el Dada Bhagwan Asim Jai Jekar ho.
Sí, saben cantar.
Sí, yes, he knows.
Yes, you sing and let him sing. Let us listen just for a minute.
Cántalo vos y que él te siga y le escuchemos un poco.
Bueno, canto. Dada Bhagwan Asim Jai Jekar ho. Dada Bhagwan Asim Jai Jekar ho.
No, Rosie, one line and then let him sing,
Una línea voz y la otra él. Fíjate si sale. Una voz y otra él.
Y otra voz no quiere. No, está tímido.
He doesn't want, he's shy.
No, he's shy. The attention came, yes.
Inclusive sabe la letra del trimantra.
Okay, we won't ask you to sing. Tell him we will just not ask.
He knows the Trimantra.
Oh, Trimantra. Oh, wonderful.
Sí,
yeah, we're sure.
Está tímido.
And that's all right. That's how it is. Just in another, pretty soon, he has been touched by Dada. He has been graced by Dada.
Él ha sido tocado por Dada.
He has been traced. He has been touched by Dada through the touch of Deepak Bhai, our Gnani.
Ha sido tocado por Dada a través del tacto de Deepak Bhai, nuestro Gnani.
He has been graced by Dada through these words of Niruma,
A través de estas palabras de Niruma.
So wonderful. Vishuddhatma Bhagwan.
Vishuddhatma Bhagwan.
At the end of the satsang, I need to let you know that for the next 15 days or so, almost 11, 12 days, I'm going to be in Barcelona. And,
Les cuento que en los próximos 15 días voy a estar en Barcelona.
And so if you have any friends in Barcelona, let me know.
Si tienen algún amigo en Barcelona,
I'm at the end, especially 9th, 10th, and 11th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, I will be free in Barcelona,
El 8, 9 y 10 voy a estar libre en Barcelona.
Yeah. But I'm going there for family reasons, like family get together.
Por cuestiones familiares.
But I just wanted to let you know, and we will be in a villa. There will be outside Barcelona, and I'm sure the internet will be there. So I will try to catch the satsangs that happen.
Creo que voy a tener señal, así que voy a tratar de estar en los satsang que pueda.
With you, huh? All right.
Con ustedes.
So,
all right.
And then the following 2 weeks I'll be in England. So I will, again, be with family, but I will try to join from wherever I am.
Y después voy a estar en Inglaterra, así que después le voy a contar dónde voy a estar.
So my greatest prayer is that your satsangs continue, and in my absence, if you all gather just like this, and let these energies flow. Let the words of Dada flow for you.
Mis grandes deseos es poder seguir estando con ustedes en Satsang, pero si no puedo estar por alguna cuestión, lean ustedes juntos y dejen que las palabras de Dada fluyan.
Yes, all right. So wonderful to see Graham, Angelica, Gabrielle, Paz.
Gracias, Sudha.
Yes, thank you.
Gracias, Dami.
Everyone else, yeah,
Jai
right.
Satchidana.
Yeah,
Jai
Jai
Satchidana,
Satchidanand.
Sudha.
Yeah, Jai
Bhagavan Jai.
Satchidanand.
Jai
Sure.
Satchidanand, muchas
Yeah.
gracias.
Yes,
Jai
yes,
Satchidanand.
thank you very much all, including especially our dear Damian and Marcela. All right, good to see our dear Kimochi and the other group in Spain. All right.
Gracias,
Jai
Shuddha.
Satchidana.
Gracias, muchas
Gracias, Sudha.
gracias. Muchas
Yeah.
gracias.
Yes,
Gracias.